Hi, everybody. Okay, so I notice if I wake up, I want to wake up and get right into the word right away. Dog, stop it. I want to get right into the word right away because I notice that then throughout the day, as I'm in the word and I'm ministering or I'm fellowshipping or I'm just spending time with the Lord, I notice, yes, your mood, you feel better. You can go through things. Okay, so say you're going through situations and different circumstances that pop up that weren't expected. And normally you're like, oh, what am I going to do? And you just worry. And you're like, what am I going to do about this? How am I going to support myself, or where am I going to end up? Because you can't foretell where you're going to be tomorrow. You don't worry about tomorrow, right? Tomorrow has its own troubles. You do what you can today to get through your day, so that way whatever goals you want to work towards, whatever it is, but always keep your focus on the Lord. Keep your focus on Jesus, because everything's in the mind anyway. We can't control people. I used to want to control people, right? You can't control circumstances. You can't control what they're doing, what they're thinking, what's going to happen. You can't control what the outcome's going to be. You can't control if, say your landlord wants to sell the house you've been living in. I mean, I just talked to somebody. I feel bad. I mean, the landlord's like, I want to sell the house. And this person has to up and leave. And it's been there for so long that they're like, well, the income that they get is a type of income where at the time years ago, it's not a lot. And the person rented the house to them, but now wants more because it's a steady wage or whatever, and that was their agreement. So they're like, oh, we're selling the house. So this person has to up and leave and go stay with some family members. So you got circumstances that pop up, and all it's going to do is, when we don't like something and we're in a situation that we don't like and we don't want to be in, naturally we get upset and offended and feel sorry for ourselves and feel bad and get angry and walk around moping. And then like when you walk in a room and you can feel tension and you better run out of that house because there's arguing. Even if you walk in and they're like, oh, hi, it's nice to see you. You can feel the tension. They were just, something was just being stirred up in there and you walked in the middle of it, even though their faces might say something else, but you can feel the tension in the room. So it's kind of like you're going to make everyone else's life miserable. That's how I used to be when stuff wasn't going my way and I couldn't control things, So we can't control things, can't control people, can't control what happens. But it's all in here anyway, isn't it? So in the meantime, do what you can do in the meantime, and then whatever's going on, you work out your situation, try to figure out what goals you want and prepare and plan for what you would like to happen, and include the Lord in it. Seek Him for His counsel. How do I go about doing this, and take action and go do it, But it's all up here in the mind. So keep the mind sound so you don't go crazy or get worried or fear or what am I going to do? You give all your worries to Him and you depend on Him for everything. Go into the scriptures and see that He says, I'll give you, He feeds the birds in the air, doesn't He? He'll feed you. He'll clothe you. He'll give you everything you need. He'll sustain you. And you want more than food. You want spiritual food more than you want physical food. I mean, if you're in the spirit, I can imagine I'm sure there's born again believers that are homeless and they're in the spirit and they're more happy than the millionaire. I mean, I'm sure of it. So in any kind of situation, it's all in here. The battlefield's in the mind. So get into the word right when you wake up. Be in Jesus right when you wake up. Read them scriptures right when you wake up. Fellowship if you can. Minister if you can. Grow in truth. It's kind of like you see Jesus and you're like, I want what He has, but I want what He is. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes unto the Father but by me. You got to go through the Son to get to the Father, right? They're one. You see the Father when you see the Son. They're one. And He's God. So I want I want what He has, or I want what this person has. Oh, I wish I knew what that person has. I want what Jesus is. He's the truth, the way, the life, the Prince of Peace, our counselor, the Almighty God, everlasting Father, wonderful. He's our counselor. He's who the Holy Spirit ministers unto us in our time of need. So when we get into the word and we believe what he's saying and go about things, the instructions, the way the word says, and let him in, if everything's okay up here and you just stay in the moment and do what you can in that moment and don't worry about the future. Like, I don't mean you want to plan things, but don't worry about tomorrow, he says. Don't worry about tomorrow. Like, don't worry about it. Just abide in him. So that way up here, we don't fall apart up here. So whatever storms and persecutions and trials and things that pop up that are out of our control, keep up here sound, keep up here good. And then you're going to walk through it in peace. Everything else is going to be blown up in people's faces and 10,000 fall to your left, 10,000 fall to your right. But you're going to be untouched. And you'll be blessed too, because we go through things and then when you come out the other side, you're stronger. So it's not that I'm going to be like this forever. What happened? I just lost this or I just lost that. And then you're just stuck in that situation and circumstance because you can't foretell what's going to come tomorrow. You can't see the future. But if you trust God, different things are to test and try our faith. They're the fiery trial. So it's not a strange thing. And when it's for his glory and it's for his name's sake and you're in him and you're abiding in the vine and you're in him doing it, just know that everything being worked out, God's in control and he'll open up a door for you. He'll open up another way for you. And maybe some things, maybe we're in a place where we're not supposed to be and something's meant to go that way. Maybe we're meant to hop from this place to that place or go through something for a little while to strengthen us, maybe be chastised and, but it's all good. It's all good. It's corrections and it's different things. But yeah, I don't know. If you're okay up here, and the only way to do that is if you let in the light. Let in the light so he can start transforming and renewing the mind. And then Jesus, they come into you. And when they come in, the way you see things change. The way you respond to things and respond to people and respond to circumstances and situations change. If you have peace up here and everything around you seems unsure, you don't know what you're going to do next. You don't know where you're going to go next. You're so used to something for so long that when it changes, people don't like to change. We can adapt easily to things, but people don't like to change. They like, I'm doing this. They know what to expect. They know, like, if you're going to get a paycheck, you know how much you're going to get. You know what that is, what this is, what that's going to cost and everything. I don't know. I'm just thinking about this. So when something unexpected and you're not sure, well, we're walking in unsurety every day. If you think about it, even with all that, you don't want to depend on, the love of money is the root of all evil, right? Money's not evil, but the love of it. So if we're just looking at like, oh no, I'm not going to secure this or that. And I know some people that have lost their income that had like 401k and different retirement plans and stuff. They're just depending on money. Yeah. Depending on that. But I know people that have lost that and then they're fine. They've lost that and they're fine. And then went back to their trade, what they were doing before, like electrician and stuff. So I know someone that lost, something like that. But something we're going to be taken care of either way. And the thing is, this body is we're just here for a short time. So this isn't like our forever home or anything like that. But if you're okay in here, there's a storm coming, but you keep your eyes fixed on Jesus and you're not going to be moved. You're not going to be moved by anything. Nothing's going to make you fall apart or go into a state of depression or, where you lose your mind and go insane or just get really down because things are changing and you don't know if the mind's good. So in those moments, go straight to the scriptures. Forget everything else. You don't know what's happening anyway. You can only do what you can in the moment. Go feed on the scriptures. So this can start getting transformed. Your mind can start getting transformed and fruits of the spirit will start manifesting: joy and peace, long suffering, a sound mind, meekness, joy, patience. Yes, because you'll have patience. It's like a waiting game for everything. Life, waiting for this, waiting for that, waiting for this person, waiting for that person. And different things are out of our control that we can't control. So like if you're waiting in line at a store or somebody cuts you off, you're not going to get angry. If you're waiting on somebody, well, you're not going to be sitting there impatient and getting upset. And when the person comes, it just ruins your whole mood and your whole interaction with them because you're upset because you waited on them and they were late. We're not depending on anybody else for our joy. That's my point. That's the point I'm making. Yeah. We're not depending on other people to fulfill our joy. If that makes sense. The Lord will fulfill the joy and give you the fruits, so that way you can suffer these situations. Okay, because you'll suffer these situations. You'll with patience. You'll wait in line and you'll be fine, because you'll have what He is. You'll have what He is, and it doesn't matter what things are trying to poke at you and push your buttons like they used to. You'll have the patience to go through it. You'll have that long suffering with people to go through it. You'll have that mercy and compassion and grace towards people when they do you wrong, to go, hey, you can forgive, and you can work out, go bring your past traumas up, bring them to the surface, and let God work on them and deal with it. Because once you start rooting stuff out of the heart, once Jesus does that, good fruits get produced. Once He starts rooting stuff out, you're not walking in misery no more and discomfort in your soul. You're not walking with a mind that's full of chaos. You know what goes on. You know what goes on in there. You just can't help it. I mean, I couldn't. It's just stuff that would just manifest because that's what was in me. So now more fruits are manifesting because that stuff's getting rooted out. So I just want to say, keep your heart in diligence. Out of your heart are the issues of life. Okay? You can go through anything and everything if you have what He is. Not, I want what Jesus has. No, I want what He is. He is the way, the truth, and the life. He is the Prince of Peace, the Counselor, wonderful, Almighty God, the Father. Yeah. So the Father is literally in Jesus, and they make their abode in you. Now, if you're a walking tabernacle, and this is a bodysuit, and you have Him in you, abiding in you, you're a walking temple where you're a house and God wants to dwell and live in you, and you're offering up spiritual sacrifices, the fruit of your lips, being careful what you speak, okay, and hold your peace, because death and life are in the power of the tongue. Watch what you're watching. I mean, I had my TV off for a long time. I mean, it's past 8. Every time I make a video and talk about it, I say 8 months ago. No, it's been way past that, like over a year ago. And I noticed since the radio's not been on and the TV's not been on, and I noticed now since it's just feeding on the Word, less is popping up in here that I don't want. The things that used to pop up in here because of what I was listening to and the stuff that used to bother me, now I can hear when God brings something to surface that's coming out of my heart. Now I hear Him. Now I hear Him and I take note and I pay attention to it. Now I notice it, when before it was just so much chaos going on. And if you listen to songs, suddenly the lyrics start coming in your head. You got rhythms coming in your head. You're being infiltrated by all kinds of outside noise, outside traffic. You want peace of mind. Okay, so you have to be careful what you're listening to and looking upon, and take a break from that TV and the radio just do it for a month, and you're going to notice as you're feeding on the Word and so into the Spirit, and you're eating the spiritual bread from heaven, you are going to start to notice, you're going to hear Him. You're going to start to hear Him. It's not an audible voice. It's a still small voice, and it's the scriptures here and there. The Holy Spirit will bring all things to remembrance whatsoever He has said unto you. So the more that you look upon the Word, you're sowing that seed, the good seed, the Word of God, into your spirit, because the Spirit in you will seek and search the things of God. So the Spirit in you, if you have God's Spirit, is going to have a desire to search out those things. And then He will give you revelation of Jesus Christ to understand what it is. And we know the mysteries of the gospel. And it's awesome. So when I focus on this, then this life and this dreary day, look how it is. It's snowy out here, which I like the snow. It's snowy. It's snowy. But I don't know. I used to wake up and be depressed and be so down. And the first thing I'd do is go grab a bottle. I'd be depressed and I'd be like, hey, go find us something. We're waiting all day on phone calls. That's all we did. Being a chauffeur for people, waiting all day. Just waiting for that phone to go off at everybody's beck and call, but never at God's. Never praying and begging God for help. Lord, help me. But begging other people, do you got some Percocets? Do you got a Suboxone? Do you got a piece of fentanyl? Please, I'm withdrawing. Do you have this? Do you have that? Do you got some smoke that I can have? Literally, our world revolved around that. That was chaos. Whatever came in, there was no time for anything else. That was our idol. That was our idol. That was our God. Sorcery, witchcraft. That was our God. That was it. I need you to make me feel better. I want what you have. To my dealer, to my drug dealer. I want what you have. I want that. Now I'm like saying to the Lord, I want what you have. I want what you are. It's better than what that stuff can give you. I'm just trying to encourage anybody that is still struggling with addiction, just to get the mind to a place where you're going, all right, this is true. I'm in bondage. I'm not happy. I'm miserable when I do this stuff anyway. It's got control over me. I can't even leave. I can't go anywhere. I couldn't go to the store unless I had pills. I had to wait on the pills. Everyone else is waiting on us, trying to make plans. You can't. When you're addicted, you can't make plans because everything revolves around that addiction. Okay, you have to make sure that that's first. That's your idol. That's number one. Oh, you need a ride? I don't have gas. Well, I'm gonna go and use my bridge card, buy a bunch of packs of Pepsi so I can go and dump out all the pop and then get the money for the cans so I can go and buy my drugs. Everything is an idol. Everything, it's sorcery, idolatry. And the first commandment, love God with all your heart, soul, strength, and mind, right? And then love your neighbor as you love yourself. How can you love yourself if you're putting all that junk in? If I was putting all that junk inside of myself, polluting myself and intoxicating myself and just put myself in a different awareness, like making myself pass out, like making myself into a zombie where I'm not there, like literally putting myself in a state of I'm walking around basically in a spiritual coma. Yeah, I'm alive, but I'm in a spiritual coma because I'm all doped up walking around the earth. I'm in an induced spiritual coma. I mean, I'm walking around and I guess I see where I'm going and I have my own desires and my eyes are open and I'm walking around, but they're not really open, but I'm walking around, but I'm in a spiritual induced coma that I did to myself. I'm walking around in a coma, like literally, like just waiting for death to come. It was a horrible lifestyle, darkness, everything. I couldn't even open the blinds, no. Everything was so dark. We had to keep the shades down, paranoia kicked in, got scared to open the door, got scared to answer the phone, got scared to make eye contact with people, got scared to have a conversation with people. It gets you, it destroys you, it destroys your soul. You're putting this stuff into your soul. That's what's going on. It's destroying your soul, your entire being and who you are. So I'd be like, I want what my drug dealer has. Well, I want what Jesus is because listen, the joy and the peace and everything that he gives you, you don't need to go seek something. I don't need an element, something I can look upon. I walk by faith, not by sight. Now I do. I walk by faith, not by sight. I don't need a pill walking by sight or a doobie to be like, this is just going to make my day. This is going to change my mood, make me feel great today. I'm just thinking about myself, how great I'm going to feel and how stupid I'm going to act around people. And it's going to be so much fun being the center of attention and just socializing and chilling and put the radio on. We're just passing time, wasting time. I'm thinking about, what is the point of all of this? There's a reason why we're here. We have a purpose, and it's not to do that. So I don't want what my drug dealer has anymore. I want what Jesus is. And it's so much better than that. But that's what we do. Our whole day would revolve around that. I mean, we'd leave work just to go get our prescriptions and get our drugs. We would leave work. I'd be late to stuff, lost jobs because of it. I mean, it was a mess. It was a mess. And we thought we had it together and nobody could figure us out. Listen, everyone around us that was sober had us figured out. Okay, knew we needed help, but we weren't ready to say we needed help until we were finally ready to say we needed help. And God put us through a lot of, I seen darkness, sleep paralysis attacks, being touched by things that aren't there, hearing voices, I seen the darkness. It's real. It's very, very real. Okay, yeah. And since closing all them doors and being delivered from a lot of this, and he's continuing to create a new heart in us. Yeah, so it's really cool. But your whole life revolves around that. And it would be an idol. And have no other gods before me. Right? He says. Don't make any images, this kind of stuff. But he says not to have any gods before God. Well, that's idolatry. That's sorcery. That's witchcraft. That's idolatry. It was an idol. And it's what I needed to sustain me. What I needed to make me feel well. When Jesus is the spiritual physician. Surely you'll say unto me this proverb, physician, heal thyself, right? Whatsoever you've heard done in Capernaum, do also in thy country, in your own country. He's the physician. Look upon him, and he's the remedy, and he heals you. What do addicts say? Addicts say, I need to get well. I need to get well. And that's why, Jesus is a physician. And we're looking to get well through man, through creation. They worship through creation, their creature, which is their creation, something created. They worship their creature rather than the creator, and giving glory to those things. Okay, I gloried in those things. I'd be like, marijuana's in the Bible. Marijuana's so great. God made it. Yeah, it's cursed. We're not supposed to smoke it. We're not supposed to alter our mind. It's not something good. We're not supposed to be doing that. We're not supposed to be doing that. But now that I'm not doing it, and all the things that people are seeking when they're looking for a medication and they're trying to make themselves feel better and get through the day, it's all about. I gotta make myself feel well and get better. But you're a slave to it. Literally, when you're living that lifestyle like we were, you're a slave to it. All your phone calls, me and my husband, who's my fiance at the time, we weren't even paying attention to each other anymore. It was just sitting there quietly, like ducks, just waiting to be, pew, pew, pew. Like I'm playing duck hunt. We're just waiting to be picked off. Like, when is the angel of death going to come and just, pick one of us off because of what we're doing to ourselves? But thank God for his mercy and grace, and for him changing the desires in our heart and showing us the truth so we can fight back and allow him to turn us from these things, because the desire changed and we started hating what we were doing, and understanding the captivity that we were in, and understanding the gospel truth, the spiritual truth about what it is we're doing is not innocent. And it's not just like, oh, smoking causes cancer. No, there's spiritual things attached to this stuff. Like, for sure, it destroys your soul. It's destruction of the temple of God. It's destroying it. It really is. It's destroying it. So we'd wait around, and we waiting for phone calls all day, or waiting to trade this, or can I trade that? And you're just at everyone's beck and call. You're just, and then when we quit doing it, because it does, it literally controls you. That's all you're waiting for. We'd wake up to the time we go to bed. That's what the mind would be on. It wasn't on Jesus until it was finally on Jesus. You know what I mean? But it wasn't on Jesus. It was on, what is the next thing I can get? Who can I get it from? It's selfish. It's selfish, and it's destructive. And how can you love your neighbor when you're trading or selling it to them, giving them your prescriptions? And like you don't even love yourself. Love your neighbor as you love yourself, but you're not loving yourself. It's actually self-hate. Self-hate is what it is. So I'm just trying to, anybody who's, I know there's people that are going through addiction recovery. When times get tough, don't go back to what we know that helped us before. It didn't help us. It destroyed us. Now we're feeding. Now you and I. Now we're feeding on the word, and this is how we get our medication, our remedy, our cure. We're getting well. Okay, we're getting well in our soul. We're being restored, regenerated, rejuvenated, made alive. Right? Okay, it's awesome. I just wanted to share this. Okay, God bless you in Jesus' name.